Okay, my audio may not be that strong, but I'm not going to keep trying to play with that. So today I had a car accident. It really was not that bad one. It was property damage only. I hit a mailbox. Literally driving my car. Driving like I've been driving for, decades. I turned a corner. There was like a burst of sun in my eyes, and I just took the corner wide. And a little bit in abundance of caution for perhaps there being some oncoming thing that somehow I didn't see before I turned the corner, but just in case, I went wide and I drove into a mailbox. It like punctured a hole in the hood of the car. I have damage on the light, on the side, on the bumper. And this was a car that, because my older son has gone away to university, I was about to sell because we no longer needed 3 cars. So I have now a car that I can't sell. I was going to go tomorrow night to sell it. I've got probably thousands of dollars worth of repairs. And I also have to pay for the fixing up of the mailbox that I damaged. So when this first happened, my first thoughts were, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I've done this. How could I just make this stupid mistake? And then I went to all the things, had I decided to take a different car this morning for one reason or another, because I knew I was going to sell this, just reduce the risk. Had I, maybe this wouldn't have happened, or at least it wouldn't have been the car that I was about to sell. It could have been, anyway, I was running down the things, decisions that I might have made differently. Oh, because we were thinking as well, maybe we'll drop the car off at the broker who was going to facilitate the sale over the weekend, and then just, it would be there and it would be done. But there was some paperwork that didn't get done. And so we were we'll do it Tuesday, whatever. So all of these things, this could have been different. And then there was a feeling of why? Why did it happen? Not quite a why me, but close to that, something like that. I spent a lot of time thinking about this today. I mean, fortunately, there was no injury. It's just property that can be replaced. And fortunately, at least I have some savings that I can spend in order to cover these costs. I don't have to worry about debt or something like that. But I thought about this a lot today. I just had to keep going with my day. I had to go meet with clients, do phone calls, I had to do family events, but then I had other family responsibilities. Then I had other things I needed to do, go get a quote, or at least go to get the pictures and the initial assessment so I can get a quote on getting the car repaired, and hopefully I'll get another quote tomorrow. Because I can't sell it, I now have to go do a state inspection and pay the property taxes and renew the plates for another year. So that's something else I need to do. I'll do that and get the second quote tomorrow. It has delayed. I had plans for doing some writing and maybe recording a different video for here, and all of that. But I'm not going to get to those until later. So communicating to other folks that some plans, some timelines are going to be delayed. But as I thought about this more, And it's really like a unexpected. And yes, I mean, I was driving, surely like I should have not driven into the mailbox, but really uncontrolled type of event. I mean, just, I don't know, it's incomprehensible to me that I could drive my car into a mailbox. But like literally that's what happened. I really started to think like, well, like, what is the point of this? I think that there is always, I think that there is always some good, some long-term thing that happens, plan that plays out when these types of things happen, when what we have planned turns out not to be the plan, because of events, mistakes that we make, or events completely out of our control. And so I started thinking what is just like these particular set of consequences would have been avoided, or it would have been different had I driven a different car today, had I just like not drove into the mailbox, had we taken the car to the broker on the weekend. Then this particular life, this timeline, if you will, would not have been what's going on. But then there's like, what are the possibilities? What are the things that are opened up? What's maybe the good that's going to come out of this uncontrolled, in a way, unexpected, random setback? And it really is a setback. There's absolute time lost, money lost. There's not any immediate good in this. But so what is it in the long run that maybe there is some good? So I don't know. I've just had one phone conversation with the homeowner who happens to actually be living in California right now and is not actively living out his home. But fortunately, whoever's taking care of the place found the mailbox, found my note inside the mailbox, and with my contact information, and he gave me a call this afternoon. And he was really chill. He said, hey, it would be he would prefer, in fact, if I just take care of it. Because one of the things I wrote in the note was that I know some services. I could probably hire someone and just get the whole thing taken care of. And then he wouldn't have to worry about it. So he prefers that. And so, maybe meeting him for one reason or another is to some good in the future. Or maybe the handyman that I'm going to hire, this is somehow going to be meaningful in our relationship, or valuable to him in some way. Maybe just having to be a little not perfect in front of people who are used to seeing me really excellent is also useful, both perhaps for my own humility, but maybe also for their own good in some way. I don't know. Maybe too, because of the time delay the time lost as I got out of the car, and wow, what's the damage that's been done? And I'm taking pictures, and I'm writing the note and all of these things. Maybe because of that time delay, I avoided some traffic collision, somebody swerving across the 2-lane road and having a head-on collision, and hospitalization or death or who knows what. Maybe that was avoided. Maybe this car sale, that I was going to go sell the car, maybe there was some problem with that, and I've avoided some other headache and loss that goes along with that. Or maybe none of these things. And really all that comes out of it is where I am tonight, not just recording this video, but where I'm feeling. I've got many things going on in life and business. There's many active priorities, many things I'm trying to juggle and keep advancing. A lot of stress and concern and anxiety about being able to see these things come into being. And in fact, in response to an email to someone that I needed to let know that I was going to have to take a little longer this week to get something done that I had wanted to do. He replied back, just kind of with a lot of understanding, but hoping that I was okay, and suggesting maybe I get into doing some meditation or something just to calm myself and get level after kind of the shock of having an accident. And with that, I kind of realized that I over the course of the day, over the time I did spend in a prayer and meditation, the just reflection and activity, over that time today, I have really come to a place of more calm and less anxiety about what the future will bring. Because if I can get up on a Monday morning and drive my car into a mailbox, then anything could happen, I guess. Certainly so much is outside of my control. As much as I was in control of driving a car, there's so many more things in what is going to turn out in life, in these aspirations I have in my business and these hopes I have for my family. So much of this is not really in my control. And we can very easily live our lives in this illusion of control, because we have things that we can control. I can control when I go to bed, when I get up, what I eat, whether I exercise. I can control how I respond to things that happen in my life, how I treat other people who are in my life. I can control the attitude and the effort that I bring into everything I do. And this can produce some amount of control or awareness of control in our own lives. But in another way, it's really an illusion of control. There's a hurricane coming to Florida, and it may come up here to Raleigh and give us a bunch of rain. Can't control what's going to happen with that. Another time a hurricane came through, and there was just so much rain, such heavy rain, and it was coming almost horizontal into the side of the house that some water came in up and around the windows. And so then there was something we had to clean up, more money to spend and property to repair. But there's all kinds of things that we don't control, and we like to imagine that we do. And so maybe if there's nothing special in this periodic or point in time, perhaps transactional relationship with me and the owner of this home, maybe there's nothing there. Maybe it's no big deal and it's of no consequence that I hire this service to do these repairs here. Maybe there was no car that was swerving across the highway and was, only because of the delay of time, because I hit this mailbox, did I avoid a head-on collision that would have more profoundly altered my life or ended it. Maybe there's nothing else to this except that it's an awareness that all I can control is my effort and my attitude. I can control some decisions and choices I make, but there's a whole bunch of things that are completely outside of my control. And to those things, I can handle them better and be more effective in dealing with unexpected things if I'm not so worried about how it's all going to turn out. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's all it was. But whatever it is, I just thought I'd like to record these things. And I suppose even share them a little bit. And we'll get back to other, regular programming and whatever else, I'm sure. But I just thought this was something to share, and that maybe there's a little bit of a lesson for life and for entrepreneurship too, for knowing and having that mindset that the outcomes are not entirely in your control, and that unexpected things will happen, and that if you can overcome, not just overcome, that's not quite the right word, but if you can have a kind of peace in everything, kind of in that Stockdale paradox kind of way, that's, yes, taking, being brutally honest about the present reality. I mean, that's really true. I mean, I can't, as much as I could easily, I suppose, have dwelled on different choices and how could I have done this and that. The present reality was I drove into a mailbox and put a hole in the hood of my car, and it's going to cost me thousands of dollars to put it all back how it was before. That's the brutal facts. But at the same time, having that unyielding faith that things will turn out in the end. So maybe that's really the only takeaway. But I thought maybe it would be handy for somebody else to hear it, maybe for you to hear it. And maybe you'll internalize that and get some kind of peace from looking at the world that way, and not be so anxious about how things need to turn out. And just be okay with life and be okay with living. All right. Well, I guess that's it for tonight. So until next time, I hope you make today or tomorrow a little bit better for somebody else.